I'm here in Mount Isa with Alexandria and her granddaughter Briley and her husband Ronnie.
And I'm very proud to be an Aboriginal person, to have that culture.
I could tell in your voice.
Yes, because I was taught by my father and my mother to respect other people as well. And respect people that respect you, you know. That's how I was brought up.
Yeah, and we came over just for a chat, and I've learned a lot. So thank you very, very much, Alexandria.
Yeah, and I love this Mount Isa. It's a good town. We grew accustomed to it. First I was having problems because I had to adapt from community to here, because I was born in Doomadgee, and I was having a rough time because I couldn't adapt to. But then as the years went on, I adapted, so now I like it here.
Now, Ronnie worked in a territory as a stockman. Can you tell us about that, Alexandria?
Well, Ronnie worked from when he was 14. Do I have to look at the camera?
You can do whatever you want.
Ronnie worked from when he was 14. He used to go to school, and then he finished school and went to work, because that was what they grew up to do, like working on stations and stuff.
So he's a stockman.
Yeah, and that's all Aboriginal people. They grew up with that, working on stations. You know, that was their livelihood. That's what they did. That's what they did, and I think they enjoyed working as stockmen in those days. But then, like today, it's totally different with how we have to go to job service providers, and then we got to report, and if we don't report, we don't get any money. And those days were much more easier and comfortable for people, Aboriginal people in those days. You know,
and you were saying that the Aboriginal men now take pride in their work, when they can get it, but they can't always get work.
No, they can't always get work. And like the work that they enjoyed was the station work. They had pride in. They still wear their hats today because they have pride they have pride in their work, what they grew up knowing, you know, and that was good back then, because everybody enjoyed being out, you know, on stations, living and just enjoying that environment. And then people had to be put into towns or communities, you know, to go and live, and then things just changed so dramatically that it was hard.
And you were saying what some Aboriginal people are now saying, and that is that welfare made it easy to get money, and that has destroyed the people.
And took pride away from how people would earn their money. And I think Aboriginal men feel that they lost that pride in how they used to earn their money. They used to work for it, but now with the dole, it's much more easier for them to get money. And then
some of them end up drunk.
On drugs. That's what really actually, like, they turned into, or been forced. I don't know, but that's how I see it. That they've been forced into this corner, and all they can do now is just drink and smoke drugs and.
And you're saying that you've got a good education. I mean, you speak really well, and you're confident.
Yeah.
And you said that if you went to apply for a job here, you probably wouldn't get it, and they'd hire someone else instead.
Yes, someone else, because like everybody else, we have to go to a job service provider, and you have to look for work, at least 6 jobs each month that you have to report that you've looked for, and even put your name down or resume sent to an employer that the job service provider thinks that you're capable of doing. But then it's just like you're in a lineup getting chosen to, if you're suitable for that work. And then it's really hard.
Yeah, you were saying before that you think that because of the reputation of some Aboriginal people who are drunk, then you find it very hard to get a job, and they actually give jobs to Indians, you mentioned, and Africans and others.
Yes, Indians and Africans ahead of Aboriginal people, when we're the people from this Australia, you know, we should be sort of at least given some sort of a preference. I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but I think that's how things happen here. Like, you know, there's a lot of our people that do suffer, and because they drink and they've turned to alcohol, I think people see us as everybody's the same, when some of us did have a good education, some of us know that we can work, we're capable of doing those things. So it makes us sad, or it makes me sad to know that we're sort of frowned upon. That's how I feel. That's me.
Tell us about what happened. You and Ronnie went to Brisbane a little while ago, and tell us about what happened in the bus.
Well, me and my husband went to Brisbane, and we were at a shopping centre, so we jumped on a bus to get back to where we were staying. And the bus that we got on, before us, there was an African lady that went before us in the bus, and because we were right behind her, we didn't see anyone look up and stare at her, so we jumped in and walked up to pay our tickets and jumped in, and then everybody looked up when we jumped in the bus, and I felt really intimidated when I saw that happening, and I said it out aloud. Oh, you know, that's very rude. You shouldn't look at us like that, because we're not the foreigners here, and the way you're looking at us as if we are, when we're not. We're the people from this country. And I just felt intimidated by the stares from Australian people to look at us like that when they didn't look at the African lady in that same way. And I felt really bad for Aboriginal people there and then. That was
so you made the point that, and this has got nothing to do with race, colour, skin colour, but you said the African woman actually had darker skin than you. So it wasn't about skin colour.
No, it wasn't.
It was about being Aboriginal.
Yes.
What they thought was Aboriginal.
Yes. So like I said, well, what is it? It's not right that we be down in Brisbane walking around just freely enjoying ourselves and enjoying the sights, and then we have to come upon something like that puts you down.
Yeah.
It's not us being put down by, it's the way you be put down by someone else that probably don't have like the decency to ask, are you Aboriginal? Where are you from? You know, just a meet and greet would just be fine for me if they said, you know, where you're from. You know, we haven't seen people like Aboriginal people up down here this far. You know, sort of thing.
So you grew up in Doomadgee with 12 brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Right, 8 brothers was it, and 4 sisters.
Yep.
And you're number 8 in the birth
line. Yeah.
And your parents actually brought you to Mount Isa to get a good education, which you have got.
Yep.
Can you tell us? We'll just finish now with. Tell us what Ronnie's nephew died of a heart attack, and the family's all getting together from all around for that funeral.
There's people coming in. And
family's very important.
Yes, family is very important to Aboriginal people. In our culture, when family passes on, the family gets together from wherever they live. They come and we meet all at one place, wherever the person's immediate family lives. We come and we sit and we cry for each other. Actually cry tears to the mother, the brother, the sister.
So it gets the loss, the grief, that energy out.
Yes. Because when you don't do that to a family member and you're related to that person, they sort of frown on you if you don't do it. But that's our culture. That is our culture. We have to do it no matter what. And if you don't do it, the family thinks, oh, they think they're white or something like that. They lost their culture.
Yeah.
But that's how we do it.
So family is extremely important, but it's not just the family, the mum and dad, it's the extended family?
Yes, the extended family. Myself and Ronnie lost our son 6 years ago, and we lived here in Mount Isa. And my family were with us 24/7 here in Mount Isa. And I got a big family. I got a really big family. And my husband and I didn't have to really do anything. My nephews, they did everything what they needed to do culturally. My husband and I sat back. We just arranged the date for the funeral. And my nephews, that's their culture. That my brother's sons, that's their culture, that they have to do everything. Get my son's clothing, fold them up, keep them, put them away. We weren't allowed to touch anything. That's our culture.
Just looked after you.
Yep. And that culture I'm very proud of.
Good. Thank you very much for sharing those things with you. I know they're personal, but you spoke so freely, and so I just wanted to capture it in video, so thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And thank you, Ronnie.
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Briley.
That's what happens when kids just gotta have a phone in their hand, yeah.